By request, I am going to be doing my lovely assistant's makeup today. It's not gonna be like a full face eyeshadow, lipstick, you know, hats on his eyelashes kind of thing. We're gonna be doing like dude makeup today. Whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Basically, it's just gonna be a lot of like evening skin tone, making sure that, you know, you don't see like these little spots and, you know, the little nick that he made in his face today and that sort of thing. We're gonna like even out the redness, do a little bit of brightening. Your dark circles actually aren't too bad right now.
Yes.
But we're still gonna do them.
Beauty sleep for the win. Stay
tuned for a future video because then we're gonna flip it. He's gonna do my makeup and it's gonna be fantastic because
it's gonna be good.
What's great is that I know what I'm doing, but he doesn't. So it's gonna be wonderful. Strap in!
Strapping in.
First things first, he shaved today, and then we also did a little bit of like a toner, kind of moisturizer kind of thing. So he's everything is clean. He also exfoliated, so everything is very clean, which is the way that it should be when you're putting on your makeup, because you really don't want to trap bad things in your skin. That's not good. So we're going to start out right now with some primer. Primer is the first thing you should always do. Please don't put on your foundation without primer. Right now I'm using the Bare Minerals Combo Control Milky Face Primer Balance. So I had asked him if his skin was oily and he said no. So this will be a good one to go with. You don't need a lot, and a little primer goes a long way. Anytime you're using your hands and your fingers to do these kind of things, you use these two fingers. Don't use your pointer fingers. Do you know why?
Is it because
we have man hands?
I was gonna say, is it because these two fingers are closer to the same length than these ones, and so no?
No, it's because your pointer fingers are usually used for most things, and so you develop a lot more pressure in them, and they tend to have a little bit more like oils and that sort of stuff in them, and so it's just not good for your face, because when you're using your fingers, you want to have kind of a light touch.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to like jam things into your face, because that's just not good for it. So.
That does make sense.
You have a bigger face than I do.
I have a lot bigger face than you do. I'm a much bigger human than you are.
You are a larger human than I am.
However, when it comes to us being Apache attack helicopters, we're about the same size.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Please explain.
It's a meme. It's a meme. People are like, I identify
I know that
male,
people
female.
identify as Apache attack helicopters.
Yeah.
But how are we the same size as Apache attack helicopter?
Because Apache attack helicopters come in the same size.
Oh, there's only one size?
I think there's only one size.
Oh, okay. There's not like a small Apache attack helicopter?
No, there aren't like miniature Apache attack helicopters.
Okay. So I can't have a tiny Apache attack helicopter?
No.
Okay. Got you nice and primed. The thing about this primer that I'm not like a super huge fan of is that it's not like a smoothing primer or anything like that. So with smoothing primers, it like does an extra step in it. So do you know what primers do?
It primes your face for makeup.
It does.
Covers up your pores so that it's nice and smooth.
It does. So smoothing primers take that even another step further and they make you even smoother. So like all of the textures and everything that you have, like they basically disappear. This one's not that.
Okay.
So I like smoothing primers a little bit better, but this also still does the job. This one's also kind of nice because it's from Bare Minerals, and so it's like, they say that it goes from like a milk to like a powdery finish. Mm. So then your skin just, like, feel your skin.
Well, you feeling my skin already feels a lot different than you feeling my skin earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like it just kind of glides over now. So anyways, alright. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with some concealers. I got a peach concealer and I got the green concealer. And so the peach concealer is going to be to get into, you know, your little dark circles right up in here. And any other dark spots. And so if you were doing drag, this is where we would also use this to kind of cover up your 5 o'clock shadow. Because ladies don't have 5 o'clock shadow. True. Unless you are one of the drag queens that has a beard. They're kind of fabulous and I love them. And then the green concealer we're going to use to...
Because I'm an alien?
No.
Oh.
We're going to use to kind of like, you're a little bit red here for whatever reason. We can do it there to get rid of the redness. Around your nose, we can do it. And then maybe some of the spots that you've got going on. So.
Okay.
Ready?
As I'll ever be.
So no.
Never ready.
We have it put in, so what you don't want to do with concealer is like paint it on, because concealer is super thick, right? Did you feel kind of how thick it was? Concealer's super thick, so you don't need to like have entire like lines of it, streaks of it. All you need to do is do a little bit, and then you just blend it out with your little little spongy guy.
Oh wow.
Right?
I look like a lady.
Part of it is because of the clip in your hair, I think, but...
No, it's that I don't look tired.
Okay, look up. Yeah, your eyes needs to be kind of open for this. Because the problem right now is that you're squeezing your eyes closed, and so I don't know if you can see, but there's the lines of where, like, there's the creases around your eyes where I couldn't get the concealer in, because you're, like, squeezing your eyes closed. What did you do?
I was supposed to watch the timer to know when it stopped recording, because it only records in 10-minute segments, and then my eyes were closed and I forgot, and so we missed putting on all of the green concealer.
So you can see he's got some like weird like discolored patches right now. So that is all the green concealer that we put on that that we missed. That the camera missed anyways. Basically you just do the same thing with it. You don't want to put on too much because it's kind of thick and it's a color corrector. So if you put on too much, you're just going to be green. You are going to be an alien at that point. And then we did the same thing. You just go in with the sponge and you just like... Now what we're going to do, because now he's green, and that is not a good look for anyone, is we're going to go in with some foundation. I got this little sample guide of Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. That's what it's called. It has SPF 15 in it, which is good, because
Nice.
you do always want to actually put SPF on. I know you don't, but you should. This is the full size of the little thing that I've got, but this is in my color. We've got the one that's more for his color. So there are multiple ways that you can put on foundation. Okay, there are multiple things that you can do. I prefer to use a brush. This is a stippling brush. That's what I'm going to use for you today, but you can also use a blending sponge. I don't really like to use blending sponges for foundation too much. Usually I use it for my highlighter and for like the concealer and that sort of thing. Boop.
It's got the little swirl.
It does.
You could work at Dairy Queen.
So a stippling brush, what you're really supposed to do, like you know what stippling is, you like dab it, right? So what I do with my stippling brush is that I'll kind of do that a little bit, and then after that I go in and I buff it. Kind of like Jimmy Buffett. We sing Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffet?
Yeah. We just sing Margaritaville while we do our makeup.
Not Cheeseburger in Paradise?
No, Margaritaville's the good one.
I would like to argue that a lot of them are the good one. Unfortunately, I only know like those two songs off the top of my head, so we'll just go with a lot of them.
And you always want to make sure you're blending down into the neck. Because if not, you look like you've got like...
A mask on?
Yeah. Which it kind of looks like you have right now just because I think it's still not the right color.
And maybe not.
But for all intents and purposes, this is, you know, it's bright.
Really yellow, my eyes are very peach.
To fix that peachiness, right, because I didn't want to get in there with that brush, just because it was kind of going to be a lot attacking your eyes, what we're going to do is we're going to go in with another concealer, and this is like an actual regular concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. This one is in light neutral, so this is, again, the one that I use for me. I don't know how it's going to work out with you. We're going to find out. But what this is going to do, hopefully, if we did this properly, is that it's going to kind of do a little bit more brightening under your eyes, too, so that it's going to, like, contrast that peach that we put in, and it's also just going to make you look more awake. Like, even more awake than covering the dark circles did. There you go. So what I'm doing here with you is I am taking this a little bit further than some of the other like dude tutorials that I watched, where they didn't really do all the highlighting and that sort of thing. They kind of just did the foundation and left it as is, which, I mean, you can do, but because what foundation does is like even out all of your skin tone, it just makes you look very flat. And that's just not really a look for anybody. So we're again just going in with this. I may have used a bit much. Second to last part of like the just face thing that we're doing right now is that since we did that highlight, we have to do a little bit of a more contour now with a darker color. So this is a Makeup Forever foundation. Yeah, with contours. This is a Makeup Forever foundation, Ultra HD Invisible Cover
Ultra high
Foundation
def.
in Y445. So this stuff is even dark for me. I could use this as a contour for me. But we're just gonna do a little bit of it for you. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit, because if we do too much, you're gonna look like a drag queen. We're just gonna put it straight onto here. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna kind of dab it in. And dab it in. And then we're gonna use our other side and we're gonna blend it out. This is part of the tutorial and like the makeup process that, again, I didn't see a lot of other guys doing in their tutorials, and I think because part of it, I think, is because this is something that like goes a little bit too far into like the girliness than they even want to do. But again, like when you're doing makeup and you're doing foundation, you really need to get in and do all of these steps, or else your face is just flat. So this is why girls do this. It's not because, I mean, well, part of it's because they want cheekbones that are like cut to the gods, but it's also just because if you don't, your face looks weird. We'll just leave it like that. How's that look? All spots. You look like a leopard.
I can't see. Oh, no, there you go. Yeah, to keep it still more natural looking, you don't do as much because it just looks like too much at that point. But you need to do enough that you don't look like you're flat anymore. You're not flat Stanley. Dang it, I was gonna make the reference. Beat me to it.
The actual last thing that we're gonna do now is we gotta do setting powder. So this is translucent pressed setting powder from the Ulta brand. You can use any kind of setting powder. All you do is you just brush this stuff on. If you want to bake your face, you can do that too, but we're not going to do that because it's not as important for you. Honestly, the stuff that you're wearing should be pretty long wearing and transfer proof anyways, so it's really not going to matter as much. But you'll see that drag queens are always baking just because they need to make sure that their stuff stays on. So now we're going to move on to his eyebrows just because, you know, eyebrows are a thing that dudes have.
Is it? Are they? I thought I was eyebrowless and thus expressionless.
So what I'm going to do first, just to kind of make sure that your eyebrows are like in place properly, is we're going to go in with the clear brow gel, and we're going to shape them properly first. We're going in, this is a City Color Bold Brow Eyebrow Powder in medium. It's got the two different colors. We're obviously not going to use the super dark one on him because that's just too much.
Just the darkest eyebrows.
Yeah.
Angry eyebrows.
Well, making them dark doesn't make them angry.
Angry.
And then we're just going to kind of fill in some gaps. Defined eyebrows. Hey-go.
No eyebrow. Eyebrow. No eyebrow. Eyebrow.
So the issue that I'm having with this brush, and this is something that you're always going to run into, is that when you buy makeup that's like this, it's like a little powder, like the little pomade kind of thing.
I want to swear.
It comes with a horrible brush. And so I can't really do a whole lot of like really good shaping with it, so we're going to use my better brush just to like finish up the shaping. A lot of times you're going to get eyeshadow palettes or little eyebrow kits or something that come with a brush. Throw it away. Just get rid of it. It's not worth your time. They're bad brushes because they don't spend the time working on the brush that they put in there. They spend the time working on the eyeshadow or the eyebrow powder that they put in there. And so it's just not going to be a good brush. It's not going to be something you want to even attempt to use. Actual last step now. Are you ready? Setting spray. Setting spray. This is the all-nighter setting spray from Urban Decay. This is one of the best setting sprays that I think is on the market. It really, really keeps your makeup on. So you have the setting powder, which keeps your makeup on, and then you have setting spray, which goes in even further. But, well, don't do that. Yeah, there you go. That's probably good. Yeah, just get in it. Alright, and then we'll take the clip out of here. And you look more like a dude again. Yeah, do what you need to do to make yourself feel more like you.
Nailed it.
So there you go. He does still look like a dude, right? Do you feel like you still look like a dude?
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, my eyes look really pink.
Yeah.
Also, my mole is like super not there right now.
It's covered up. What you could do if like you wanted to keep it, like have it come back out, is you could always just go in with a Q-tip and like uncover it. How do you feel? Feel good?
I don't feel bad.
I feel like if you needed to, you could probably do a much lighter version of this, and you'd still be pretty good.
Yeah.
Just kind of even everything out, because you do look a lot more even now. I can do a cut to like before we started and then
Before,
now.
after. Or would it be before, after? Give you a beat to actually cut it?
Well, anyways, you're done.
Yes.
You're done. This is it.
This is me now.
Yeah.
Forever and always. I'm not washing my face.
Ew. That'd be so gross. That'd be horrible. You ready to do me? Ready to do my face?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do it.